Welcome to a new month. This is April now, and I am going to change things up a little bit. I've been trading the MES, which is the one that's a tenth the size, and I have another account that I have almost enough to trade 2 contracts of the ES. So I have about, my goal is to get to 13,000 as quickly as possible, and I'm a little over 25 right now. So with that being said, I'm going to use this account to trade and practice with trading 2 contracts, which I haven't really done before. I've only traded the one. So that will double my ability to make more, as well as doubling the amount of commissions that I have to pay as well. So we'll see how it goes. I've never really done this before. So this is my goal. I'm thinking 11,000 minimum, 17 kind of at the higher end, and aiming for making about $500 a day. If I make 800, that's great too. But I think that's pretty reasonable. It seems to be what I've been doing in the past, and so I think I can do that. Okay, so we opened the day this morning, and it's been uptrending, and I thought that it was probably going to go up, and overnight it actually took a great big jog up. It dropped Saturday night, and then it opened way above where it had left off, and it went up, and then it kind of leveled off, and this morning it has dropped down a little bit. So I kind of thought that we had reached a resistance point here, but I still thought it would probably going to continue up. So I got into a long position, and it dropped a little bit. It was a little bit worrisome. Kind of drew in some channels, and you can kind of see a pennant pattern here. Drew my Fibonacci lines, and just trying to make some predictions. I'm not real clear this morning on what I'm seeing, because there's a lot of possible downward momentum as well as upward momentum. So here are the 2 shorter charts, and you can kind of see it almost went down to the support there. We're like hanging out in midair right here. So I think it'll probably come back up. So I have my exit order in up here, and that's also where Fibonacci line is. It kind of matches up with the SMA, so that looks decent. It did continue to drop, and I wasn't super excited about that. We did reach a support right here on the 15-minute chart. Okay, opening bell is in approximately 3 minutes, and I'm thinking that it will probably bounce, but it might not get past that point. I don't know. There's the opening bell, and sure enough, there was a pretty decent-sized red candle there, which is usually not a good sign that it's going to go up. It'll probably go down. So we reached kind of a new low right here. Then it bounced and got back a little bit of the losses. Okay, it broke through that resistance level there. Went up to the next one. This is a very critical point because we have had that as a resistance level for a while. However, we have the support over here, and it looks like a bounce. So I'm just hanging on, just hoping, pretty much right where I got in. So, okay, it did drop down a little bit, but again, sometimes it does that when it's going to go up. It just takes a while. Okay, bounced at that point, which is an exciting sign to see. And we're going to try to break through that resistance level again. Pushed it up a little bit, pushed it up a little bit more, and then it dropped again. So just hanging on to hope over here at the 15-minute chart. It looks like it bounced, but I don't know. It's a little hard to say. Still think there's the potential for it going up at this point. Just does not want to get through that resistance level. Drop back down and hit that, and then it held, so that's good. MACD is looking like it might turn. Still hanging on. trying to be patient, not make any stupid moves, but it did have a huge drop at this point, which was not a good thing, and it actually broke through that support over here. So, okay, it went back down to this point and bounced pretty good, so I got back a little bit of the losses and continued up a little bit more. So now I'm kind of deciding that, yeah, I don't think it's going to get up. I really don't think it's made its decision here. It's tried to go up and it couldn't. It didn't have enough momentum. So at this point, I decided to reverse my position and hold a short position right now. And I think this is a really good time to do that because we are sitting at a resistance level and the MACD looks like it's turning. So I'm pretty happy with that, even though it did go up just a little bit further there. Okay, waiting for a drop. Okay, it dropped and then it kind of hesitated. And so I got out at a small profit and whittled back my losses almost completely here to under $100 anyway. That's too positive thinking. Let's see. All right, so waited for it to dip down and turn, and I decided to ride it up a little bit, so I got into a long. And it just didn't want to go up very far there. So I made a reverse position here at a very, that's like one tick below where I got in. So I decided, no, it's just not going to go up. I could have gotten out up here at a very small profit, but I kind of missed that, and it just didn't look like it was going to do that. So I reversed. Now I'm in a short again. And looking ahead here, it's near the bottom of this channel that I drew, so it's possible that this is as far down as it will get. And it dropped down there and actually blew past my limit order before it took it. And then I immediately got back into a long position at this point. And I'm going to ride it up, hopefully to that point. Kind of bouncing along that Fibonacci line. Ooh, and it broke through. So I just don't know about a long. I just don't think that's going to work out today. I waited for it to bottom out and start trickling up. And I'm following this SMA down as it drops. I'm lowering that limit order. And it's almost right where I got in. So that's kind of disappointing. Okay, so it got up to that point, and there's two red candles here. I just don't know that it's even going to quite make it to that point. It hit that Fibonacci line, which seems like it's a pretty decent place. It seems like that's maybe what people are seeing and trading on. And so I did a reverse order at this point. And so now I'm in a short again, and it does seem to be dropping. I went ahead and looked at the 4-hour chart over here, and the gold SMA that's right here is at this level where the alert is. So that's kind of where I was thinking it might go. Drop down to that point. It's possible it would even drop further, but that's a pretty good movement right there. Okay, so it's dropping very nicely. And just kind of waiting for it to go. Back up again a little bit. Still in a profitable position. Okay, and it dropped some more. So I'm doing real good here. Went ahead and put in a stop order, which I think just got filled here. It just hasn't quite gone away. So I did make some money on that trade. Okay, it went up a little bit, and I decided to get into a long. It looked like maybe it had flattened out and was ready to go up for a little while. I do have it bracketed here just in case I was wrong. And I got in pretty much right at the SMA. So I'm not sure that that was the best of places to get in. I'm still kind of in the mindset that it's going to go up. And I'm waiting for that to happen. So I'm not sure that's very wise. All right, and I almost immediately got stopped out. So if I go back, you can see I had my stop put in at $100 max loss. So yeah, so I'm still at a profit here of 137, but you know, with 7 trades, that's not very good, and I at least cut my losses there. Okay, I decided that it was going to drop here. Is a good, decent place to get in. The MACD is looking pretty good, and I went ahead and put in bracketed order here. So I've gotten a short order that I'm in here, so that's awesome. It dropped down and then maybe taking a little bit of a jog up. I redid the Fibonacci lines instead of before it was showing going up, and now it's showing it going down. So I did like the reverse thing. So you start at the top and do a bottom, and then you do another top, and we can kind of see how it's laid out here to kind of show us. And that 61.8%, that seems to be right through there, which is, I don't know, that seems to be like a ceiling for right there. So that's not a bad place to go. And again, the gold SMA on the 4-hour chart here is where my alert is, and that's very close to where the 78.6% is. So I'm somewhere in there, I think, is probably where it's going to drop to before it bounces, maybe. I'm still kind of thinking it might bounce eventually. But I'm in a short here, hoping it gets down there. Looking good, making new lows, and it started to drop pretty quickly through here. And then it just fell down and took it, and that was awesome, because now I have gotten to my $500 mark, but with 8 contracts, got to take out some of the money there. It gets like $6 or $7 per contract. So that's, you know, going to take away some of my losses. So I decided to do another trade, and it looked like it might be bouncing. So I'm going to try to go for a bracketed long order again. So I put in an order here, and it took. And I have my exit order at a pretty conservative place right here. It isn't even up here at this SMA. And I went ahead and canceled my my stop order, my protective order, because it's looking pretty good. The MACD is turning, and it's at support here. It's at support pretty much there. I just don't think, I'm not too worried that it's going to drop. Okay, it actually went down and touched that Fibonacci line, but again, I'm only at like a less than $100. Actually, it's $75 loss right here. Not too worried. Okay, getting up there. And then it just shot up very quickly. These developed like almost all at once, and took my order, and that was my 9th order. And now I'm at 725, and I had decided to stop at this point, but then it started to drop, and I'm like, oh, I wonder if I should get in another short, because gosh, it's still dropping, you know. So I put in an order, and then I canceled it, and then it took it, unfortunately. So I got into this order, and I really wasn't sure about it. So I went ahead and just got out at a very, very small loss. And that wasn't very wise of me. That was a FOMO move. But anyway, here's my trades. And you can kind of see I did 10 of them, which was a lot for today. But I'm only trading 1 contract today because I don't have quite enough yet in my account. I need to get it up $300 more in order to trade the 2 contracts. So $500 on 1 contract, that's pretty darn good. Pretty happy with that. So, and you know, I think I managed my risk pretty well today. At one point up here, I had a $500 loss that I was sitting in, and I held on to that position. But even so, you know, that's just like one day's profit here. So that wasn't really a bad thing in my mind. So anyway, thanks for joining me.